Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builder Supply. This video is to bring you a closer look at the Kaba Ilco number 861K-03-10. This is an aluminum collar, cylinder collar, and a polished brass finish. In a polished brass finish is what this is. The 863 is the series of collar that they have. The K is a reference to the thickness. The 03 is a reference to the finish, polished brass. The -10 means when it comes from the factory, they sell them in multiples of 10. You can to distribution like ourselves. You can buy it any quantity from us that you like. If you ordered 10, they'll probably come in one pack. Not necessarily, but they very likely will. The K tells us that this is, it should be 3/16. My caliper is telling me 0.1878. So yeah, pretty accurate on 3/16 thick. The OD, since we're holding the caliper, 1.4 on the nose, 1.4. The ID, 1.175. 1.175. This collar will feature a small chamfer around the perimeter of the unit on both inside and outside. On the inside and the outside, on obviously both ends of the unit. Kaba Ilco makes collars available in lots of different finishes and lots of different thicknesses. I think from 3/32 all the way to 5/8 maybe. Not in 32nd of an inch increments, but you know, pretty comprehensive. Very rare that we need to stack two together, that's to be sure. Although sometimes you do when you're dealing with something really unusual, and a single 1-inch collar like this is not going to be a stock item generally. So stacking it is not unheard of for you to do. Now, what's the role of a cylinder collar like this? Or a cylinder ring, I suppose. This is just a straight collar or straight ring. Its purpose is to take up the room from the underside of the head to the face of the door or the hardware, whatever you're installing it onto, which is generally because you've got too much cylinder in terms of length for the application, or what the application would really require at a minimum. The cylinder's too long, and that's likely because you can't get a shorter version of the cylinder that you must have. And a prime example of that, the easy common example, is small format, interchangeable core 7-pin. Those cylinders are going to be 1 3/8, 1.5 inches, is what you're going to be looking at on those. Well, if you've got an aluminum storefront door, unless that door is unusually thick, even if it was 2 1/4, which you do see here down here in Florida, you'll see them. You're going to need a cylinder collar is the bottom line. So why a 3/16? Well, probably 1 3/4 aluminum storefront, and you've got an 1.125 cylinder length. 3/16 would be a pretty good size for that. Would be like really a good size for that sort of application. They're meant to be loose on the door, not so that they rattle, but so that they turn. The OD of the cylinder itself, that 1.4, is just slightly greater than the OD of the cylinder that you're putting it on, such that if a wrench were to be attempted to be put on the head of the cylinder and spun the cylinder to bypass the cylinder, this thing should just spin along and really prevent getting something down to the head of the cylinder. And that's the role of a collar like this. It's cosmetic. It is required from a functional perspective in the sense that you can't have a exposed underside of the head of the cylinder, and it's also a security device, all those things. Let's switch now to the screen view and let's take a closer look at some supporting documentation. If you are enjoying this video, please click thumbs up or like, and also please consider subscribing to our channel. Let's move on to the rest of the video. Here is the item that we are indeed looking at here. The 861K-03. I have some images of it that we can take a quick look at. Chamfer here, chamfer out here. Kind of a side view, an overhead view. Okay. Now, in this horizontal navigation that we have here, cylinders, collars, mortise cylinder, solid 3/16 thickness. If we were to click on solid, the catalog above that, you can drop down all of the different thicknesses. 3/16, You can then refine by finish, polished brass. The K is the 3/16. There is a technical drawing here, and there's not much to see here, except that it is a document from the manufacturer that indicates, what these dimensions look like for different parts that they have in their 861 series of collars. There's a table that we have listed down below here, which will be a handy way to quickly find other thicknesses. This table has other thicknesses listed in this category, and it will take you to all of the 3/32. The 861P link will take you to all of the 11/32. And video reviews, as they are in each of these columns here as well. They do make other cylinder collars. They have tapered adjustable spring collars. They have solid tapered collars. You would use a wave washer with this. That is where the head of the cylinder will fit inside or flush with the outside of the collar, really preventing you from getting a wrench on it. Other accessory items are here. That wave washer I mentioned is here. Okay. Now, there's a link below this video here to the manufacturer's page. And when we click on that, we can pull up not only all of the Kaba Ilco products that we sell by means of this horizontal navigation, but also a link to the manufacturer's website, as well as a link to the brass cylinder manual that's here. The one I'd like to look at would be the 2014 brass cylinder manual, because there are more images inside of it. So if we did a Control F on our keyboard for 861, we'll get to the manufacturer's table, even though this is a very outdated catalog. Polished brass, satin bronze, oil rub bronze, polished chrome, satin chrome, clear aluminum, black and dark brown, like a Duracolor brown they call it. There's all of your collars, the thicknesses that they have here. Okay, so pretty handy. Also handy would be the Keyblank Catalog. If you know the name Kaba Ilco, you probably do because of their key blanks. And there's their 400-plus page catalog when it comes to all things Keyblank related. 500 pages, in fact. Section 2 is where you'll find all of the North American cylinders. Your Yale, Corbin, Sargent, Schlage, National Cabinet Lock Company, page we landed on, Siegel, Russwin, on and on and on. So if you're looking for key blanks, that's the reference there that you'll want to use. Let's wrap up this video on camera. In conclusion, nice quality piece of equipment. Nothing particular or unusual about this. Someone's got to make them, and that's Kaba Ilco in this case. Very inexpensive, very high quality, very much readily available. The name Kaba Ilco is synonymous, certainly again with key blanks, with accessory hardware like this. Obviously cylinders, mortise, rim, key and knob, lever, deadbolt type cylinders. Key machines. They have a comprehensive offering of key duplication machines, and all of those important resources for those different components of Kaba Ilco are on that manufacturer's page. Any questions on the 861K in an 03 finish or any other Kaba Ilco product, please feel free to reach out to us. And thank you. Again, thank you for watching, and if you've enjoyed this video, please click thumbs up, please subscribe, and maybe even send the video to someone that you know. Thank you.